Someone tells you you're talented. You did a great job. You look amazing today. And instead of feeling good, you feel awkward. You deflect. You downplay it. You say, "Oh, it's nothing," or "I just got lucky." But then someone criticizes you. One small comment about something you did wrong, and that? Days later, you're still thinking about it. One compliment bounces off. One criticism burns in. Why? If you've ever felt this way, you're not broken. You're not being ungrateful or negative. And your brain is wired to pay more attention to what's wrong than what's right. It's called the negativity bias, and it affects everything, including how you receive praise and criticism. Here's how it works. Your brain is constantly scanning for threats. It's looking for danger, for problems, for things that could hurt you. This made sense thousands of years ago when survival depended on noticing threats quickly. A rustling bush could be the wind. Your brain couldn't afford to assume the best. It had to assume the worst. So it evolved to pay more attention to negative information than positive information. And that pattern is still running today. Even though you're not dodging predators anymore, your brain still treats negative feedback like a threat. It prioritizes it. It remembers it. It replays it. Because from your brain's perspective, negative information is more important. It's telling you something you need to fix, something you need to avoid, something that could hurt you. Positive feedback, on the other hand, doesn't trigger the same alarm. Your brain hears a compliment and thinks, "Okay, that's nice, but it's not urgent. There's no threat here, no problem to solve." So it doesn't hold on to it the same way. It doesn't replay it. It doesn't analyze it. It just files it away as background noise and moves on. This is why one critical comment can erase 10 positive ones. Your brain isn't weighing them equally. It's giving the criticism more weight, more attention, more emotional charge. And the compliments, they barely register. But there's more to it than just the negativity bias. There's also the issue of belief. When someone compliments you, your brain checks it against what you already believe about yourself. If the compliment doesn't match your self-image, your brain rejects it. It feels fake. It feels uncomfortable. Because deep down, you don't believe it's true. Let's say someone tells you you're smart, but you don't see yourself as smart. You see yourself as average, or lucky, or just good at faking it. So when you hear the compliment, it creates a clash. The compliment says one thing, your internal belief says another, and your brain doesn't like that dissonance. It feels wrong. So instead of accepting the compliment, you dismiss it. You explain it away. You deflect. This is especially common in people who struggle with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the feeling that you're not as competent as people think you are, that you've somehow fooled everyone into believing you're good at something, when really you're just getting by. And when you feel this way, compliments don't feel good, they feel threatening. Because every compliment is a reminder that people have expectations, and you're terrified you won't live up to them. So you deflect. You say things like it was nothing or anyone could have done it, because accepting the compliment feels like setting yourself up for failure. It feels like raising the bar too high, and if you can't meet that bar, Everyone will realize you were never that good to begin with. Criticism, on the other hand, feels true. It confirms what you already believe about yourself. You already think you're not good enough. And when someone criticizes you, it's like they're just saying out loud what you've been thinking all along. So instead of dismissing it, you absorb it. You hold on to it. You replay it, because it fits your internal narrative. And here's the thing. Your brain is always looking for evidence to support what you already believe. If you believe you're not good enough, your brain will notice every mistake, every flaw, every critical comment, and it will ignore or downplay everything that contradicts that belief. This is called confirmation bias. You see what you expect to see. You remember what fits your story. So if you already believe you're not talented or not attractive or not capable, compliments will feel wrong and criticism will feel right. Not because the criticism is more accurate, but because it matches the story you've been telling yourself. There's also a social component to this. We're taught from a young age not to be arrogant, not to brag, not to think too highly of ourselves. Humility is seen as a virtue, and accepting a compliment can feel like the opposite of humility. It can feel like you're agreeing that you're better than others, so we deflect, we downplay. We make ourselves smaller because that feels safer. But here's the problem. When you constantly deflect compliments, you're not just being humble. You're reinforcing the belief that you're not worthy of praise. You're teaching your brain that positive feedback doesn't matter, and over time, that becomes your default. Compliments bounce off, criticism sticks, and you end up with a distorted view of yourself where all you can see are your flaws. So what do? How do you change this pattern? First, you start noticing it. When someone gives you a compliment, pay attention to your reaction. Do you deflect? Do you downplay? Do you feel uncomfortable? Just notice it. Don't judge yourself for it. Just see it for what it is, a habit. A way your brain has learned to protect you from discomfort. Second, practice accepting compliments without deflecting. This feels awkward at first, but it's simple. When someone says something nice, just say thank you. That's it. You don't have to agree with the compliment. You don't have to believe it's true. You just have to acknowledge it. Let it land. Let the person know you heard them, and then let it go. You don't have to downplay your effort. You don't have to explain why it wasn't that hard. You don't have to deflect to make the other person feel comfortable. Just say thank you. It's not arrogant. It's not rude. It's just accepting that someone wanted to say something kind to you. Third, challenge your negativity bias. When criticism comes, pause before you absorb it. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? Or is this just confirming what I already believe about myself? Not all criticism is accurate. Not all criticism is useful. Some of it is just one person's opinion, and you don't have to carry it with you. And when compliments come, try to hold on to them. Write them down. Keep a list. Not because you need constant validation, but because you need to balance the scale. Your brain is already keeping a detailed record of every mistake you've ever made. You need a record of the things you've done well too. Otherwise, fourth, work on your self-image. If you don't believe you're capable or talented or worthy, Compliments will always feel uncomfortable because they'll always clash with how you see yourself. So you need to update that image, not by forcing yourself to believe you're perfect, but by being honest about your strengths, by acknowledging what you're good at, by recognizing your growth. This doesn't mean ignoring your flaws. It just means seeing yourself more accurately. You're not all bad. You're not all good. You're somewhere in between. You're allowed to have strengths and weaknesses. You're allowed to be good at some things and still learning others. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of kindness. And finally, be patient with yourself. This pattern didn't develop overnight. It's been building for years, maybe decades, and it won't change overnight either. You're going to deflect compliments sometimes. You're going to hold onto criticism longer than you should. That's normal. That's part of being human. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is awareness. And over time, with practice, the pattern will shift. Your brain makes compliments feel uncomfortable, and criticism stick because it's trying to protect you. It thinks negative feedback is more important. It thinks you need to remember your mistakes so you don't repeat them. And in some ways, it's right. Criticism can teach you. It can help you grow. But not all criticism is useful. And not all compliments are empty. Sometimes people say kind things because they mean them, because they see something in you that you don't see in yourself. And you're allowed to let that in. You're allowed to accept it without deflecting. You're allowed to believe that maybe, just maybe, they're right. You don't have to carry every critical comment like it's the truth. You don't have to let one person's opinion define how you see yourself. And you don't have to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be good at things. You're allowed to accept praise without guilt. The next time someone compliments you, just say thank you. Let it land. Let yourself feel it, even if it's uncomfortable. And the next time someone criticizes you, pause. Ask yourself if it's true, if it's helpful, if it's worth holding on to. You get to decide what you carry with you. You get to decide what shapes how you see yourself. So if this helped, if any of this made sense, leave a comment and let me know. What compliment have you deflected recently? What criticism are you still holding on to? You're not alone in this. And sometimes just knowing that is enough to start shifting the pattern.